What is up, Cabbage Crew? It is Matt and John here on episode. I don't even remember, to be truly honest, but we're here.
It's 20-something.
It's 20-something. Today we're going to be talking about something that John did over the weekend, Semi did something over the weekend. We're going to be talking about scores in movies and film. John, why are we picking that topic this week?
Well, as it so happens, over the weekend, on Saturday the 31st of August, 2024, Avatar, The Last Airbender, was in concert in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And, I mean, they're going around the country. They've done international bookings. But on Saturday, they were in Pittsburgh, got the tickets in advance. And yeah, that's why we are talking about the topic that is the topic of the topic.
Yeah, so well, I guess we can just talk about that, and then we'll go into more about scores overall and our thoughts on certain things, and go from there. So yeah, just the floor is yours. I mean, what kind of what was the experience like? Yeah, I guess we'll start with how did they format it, and like I mean, I'm as blind as pretty much anyone else when it comes to this. Besides Toph. Yeah, I mean, how did they format it? Just how did it do it?
Sure.
How did they break it down?
So the concert was held at the Benedum Center. In the Benedum, I've been there before, actually probably several times. I think a few times in like middle school, high school, and the last time I was there was for John Mellencamp concert. So it's a relatively, it's not Acrisure Stadium, it's not PPG Paints Arena, but it's where they have.
Of course, it's not Heinz Field, because Heinz Field's gone.
Heinz Field's gone. Actually, it's back, but that's another side story I'll tell you about. But so. The Benedum Center, it's a relatively large venue, but it's on a smaller scale for like smaller concerts, smaller plays that will that get to be on stage there. And so that's where the concert was held. It was relatively packed. Like it was like the first several rows in front of me were relatively empty, but like my row, because I sat in the front, like I sat in the fourth row from the front. And so from the fourth row back, packed. Like I was surprised with how much people were.
Why was the front empty? Is it because of the view?
The view and probably a little bit of the price. I paid around $85 for my ticket. And no one's paid $85 for an Avatar concert, but I do.
I feel like that's not horrible.
No, it's not. But from my row back, like tons of people, because like they have also the second floor too, and full of people. Like it was like
really?
Think of like a larger Ford's Theater. That's what it looked like.
Okay.
And so that's where it was held. And so how they set it up was you go in like you're seeing a play, and you go to your seat. And so, they did how an orchestra is usually set up,
Right.
You got your podiums, each individual podiums for each musician. And then you got the conductor podium in the in the center. One thing that I was like, yes, they brought down the projector screen. And so they were playing the music from the scenes from the show.
That's cool.
It was very cool. And so they started off, I mean, they did not every, I would say 95% of the Avatar store soundtrack. Like they missed like, I know they missed at least one, but I'm sure they missed more. But they started off with the theme song, obviously. It was very good. I mean, it was because they obviously were playing it, and it was like the episode 1 soundtrack. So it was like my grandmother used to tell me stories of the old days.
Yeah.
And so like, that's
cool.
It just made your hair tip up. with every song, with every music that they were doing, every piece of music. And they were like, look, we want you guys to be engaged with this. So like if there's a favorite character that you see on the screen, we want you to go, yeah. If you like the piece of soundtrack, like the title of the soundtrack, because you know what it is, like shout it, like yes. And
I
so
can only
like,
imagine listening to this beautiful score, then all of a sudden you hear John, Secret Tunnel! I'm like,
there's a good story about that actually coming up.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, they start off with the theme song. I will say they did go out of order in terms of like episode soundtrack. So like, they would hop around from like episodes 1 and 2 to like 6 and then 3 and then 9. Like they would just jump around a lot for
Right.
They would play the music per season.
Is there a reason?
I don't know.
No.
I really don't know.
It was like, I didn't know if you caught on in some type of like they get more intense as they go, or something like that, or they specifically chose like different characters first. Like,
I don't think so. I don't. Yeah. There might have been that I don't know about. I don't. Yeah. I didn't pay attention to that. Like, if I didn't like notice.
Right.
What was, if there was a pattern? I was just like listening to the music and seeing the things that were being shown on screen with the scenes from the show.
Right.
And so you go from the theme song, and then like, you go to the like Roku's temple, and as they're playing like what it was where Aang meets Roku for the first time, which I took to heart, and I was like, yes.
You had to jump around on one leg.
I did. I was like every song, not every song, but a lot of the score. You heard me as soon as they showed the title of it, I would go woo, like Ric Flair, woo.
Yeah.
So, so they're like from theme song to Roku's Temple to Kyoshi Warriors to and they made a point, and I loved it. They made a point, like they actually like displayed like Sokka's character growth when it came to his sexism. Like they actually did that at this concert, and I was like, good, because you stick to the original plot of the damn story. And so like I was really happy with that, and like with the music involved, which made it just that much better.
Right.
And so you go from that, and then you go to Jet, like Jet's music with the and then like with him and guitar, like going up. It was
I don't remember Jet's score.
It was just that like lovey-dovey, like Katara is like head over heels for him when they're holding the tightrope, and it just and it's just like the fall leaves falling. It's like a yeah. And so, and like, it talked about, it showed, and they'd have dialogue from the show on the screen following, with the music. All it was cool.
Right.
They left some dialogue out. Not every piece of dialogue was used. But they used the Agni Kai between Zuko and Ozai. Like they showed the like him getting burned like with the music. And it was emotional. I mean, you got because like it's live and it's you get the picture and you hear it in front of your face. And then like go from that to UA and Sokka, like UA becomes the moon spirit is what the score was called. I know it's your favorite character. And it would go from that to like trying to the fortune teller episode. And then it would go like, and I really liked how they did this. Mm-hmm. They actually included winter, spring, summer, and fall. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Winter, spring. I was singing along the entire way. It was so cool because like I didn't know if they were going to include that in there in season 1. For the sort of like when I mean they put in almost everything from every season. They did.
What was the one that you noticed they didn't do?
Big Badger Moles.
Oh, that's more of a song and less of a theme, though. Like less of a score.
But they did sing winter, spring, summer, and fall. Like there's instrumentals with winter, spring, summer, and fall, but we were all like singing it like it was all music from the show is what it was.
Okay.
And so then like, season 1 ends, like season 2 comes along, you get Azula's store, you get the Cave of Two Lovers store. Except they skipped Secret Tunnel. And so
they didn't have Secret Tunnel at all.
I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
And so they did Cave of Two Lovers. They did Omashu. They did the Omashu store from a very underrated part, very much underrated. They had the score of them explaining the Cave of the Two Lovers. Like where Katara, and they used Katara's dialogue with the live score. It was so beautiful. It was very beautiful. And then you sort of Cave of Two Lovers, and then you go to Toph. Like it was just a score of Toph, like, and everyone's like, yeah, like just like yelling. And like people were like dressed up for this too. Like it was like
oh really?
Event. Yeah, like it was people dress up going to concerts. You either dress up or you wear the T-shirt and show support.
Right.
A decent amount of people dress up, and I was like, okay. But anyway, back to the score thing. Like they, you go to Toph, and then you go to, let's see, what's after 6? Oh, like Bitter Work. They have Iroh's music. They did Leaves from the Vine. I mean, it was so iconic. And they even did like the intro to it being like Iroh and Luke 10 as a boy, like when he goes like, "I got you, Dad." Like that's where they started out. And
Zuko Alone.
They did Zuko Alone, which was very good. And then they did Long Fang and the Dai Li.
They do the Blue Spirit, right? They do Blue Spirit.
They did Blue Spirit from season 1. Forgot to mention it. Yep, they did it. And as soon as you heard the everyone was going crazy nuts, and it was odd. It was just great to be in a place where we all know,
all fans. Yeah,
we all know, and like we can just be ourselves. So the Blue Spirit, and so season 2, Long Fang Dai Li, another good one, Aang and Hope.
Okay.
From the Serpent's Path. Like it was like like that can be like a small like minor detail like in the show's plot, but when in a concert setting, the way that it was done, it was.
Did you do anything for Appa?
Appa's Lost Days.
Yeah, Appa's Lost Days, and him just coming back when you see him coming back from the sun.
Yes.
And,
so they combined. Well, it's actually kind of funny because like we all pre-applauded before he comes back from the sun, but that Appa's score was like it lasted probably at least 5 minutes. It was long.
Really? Wow.
It was long because it started from not Bitter Work, the desert and the library to Lake Laodai.
Right.
So it like lasted that long and it showed it on screen. Like Appa getting pulled away and Appa flying to Guru Patik. Like it was very cool. I mean, it was so cool how they did it. And it was a very good, that one was a very good score. So Appa's Lost Days, and then Aang and Long Fang and all that. And then you fast forward to season 3, and then you get like Aang and the headband, and like Katara and the puppet master from Hama. And that was a good one because they even showed like the blood bending and like her saying like,
I don't remember that score.
And that's the thing too. A lot of these scores I would say half of them I don't recognize. Like they say, oh, it's this from this, but it's like I don't hear that from that scene.
Right.
Like from my memory. Like I'm not and so like a lot of it was actually like new sounds. And then so like season 1 headband, you got Hama and the Puppet Master. You got the beach. That was a good score. That was a great score.
Where they're all sitting around the fire.
Yes. Yeah, and the way they did, I mean, they did the whole thing of like, and they didn't do like scene by scene. So, you know, Zuko's talking about like, you know, I'm back home now. My dad accepts me. Everything should be perfect. So he says that at the beach, but with the way they put it on screen was as Zuko is walking up to his old house.
Right.
They put that dialogue up to when he's walking to his old house, which was great because it's like, it was so good.
I love when trailers do that, or just any video does that, where they take, you know, not going to say like dialogue, and they put it over things that the dialogue would match with. Like I love videos like that, so that's it's cool they did that.
And they did the whole beach scene of like I'm angry at myself. Oh, it was just it was good.
I watched like probably like a 6-minute video, 5-minute video of Zuko's journey from the beginning to the end of when he redeems himself and stuff, and it's like his whole arc in like a 6 to 10 minute video. It's freaking amazing. Yeah, it's great. I've watched it 318 times.
I don't blame you.
No, I've watched it a couple times after.
Yeah. So and then you got the Firebending Masters with the They did a phenomenal.
That's the theme at the end.
The credits.
The credit scheme.
Yep. They did a phenomenal job with that, and of course, as soon as it begins, like woohoo, like because it's so iconic. And same thing with the dragon dance, the dancing dragon. It was just the way that it was so done.
I gotta get my charger really quick.
Yep.
Continue.
Okay. Oh. And so you got that. You got the Day of Black Sun score, great. I mean, I know I'm saying all these scores are great because
hey, my charger, I forgot my charger is in my car. So continue.
Okay. And so all those scores were great. So you got a lot of episodes that they just covered. I mean, like I said, they covered at least 95% of the entire show score. From Cave of Two, or from Black Sun score, they go to the Western Air Temple score. They go to the Southern Raiders, which is very cool. And then they do Aang versus Ozai, which was super cool, as we all remember from the finale of season 3. The Aang and Ozai battle. I mean, it was one after the other. With that score, I mean, they were on that score for a long time. But I will say one of the best ones that they did. It definitely makes my top 3. Was the Azula and Zuko Agni Kai score. They played that either to a T or pretty damn close, and I got so emotional. I really did, because that's just it is just such an emotional score and experience to do. And so you got the Songi horn being played as well with certain music.
Sorry about that.
I was just telling our viewers.
Oh,
I'm already towards like the end of season 3. Damn. But I was telling them the top 3. I would say top 3 that I listened to and was a part of on Saturday. That was either to a T or pretty damn near close to a T. Was the score of Azula and Zuko's Agni Kai.
The last Agni Kai. Yeah.
That's
probably my favorite score.
It's up there. It's in my top 3 that I like that in concert. It was top 3.
Was any of the scores that you went into it being like, it's an okay score, but I'm not necessarily loving it, the score. Like, and then it enhanced by them doing it live, really enhanced any scores.
The one that was enhanced and I was surprised with was the Aang and Hope one. I really liked that.
Oh, right.
One.
Okay.
The one that that's that I thought was going to be good, but it was kind of like could have done better. Was probably, honestly, and I hate to say it, but probably Leaves from the Vine.
Really?
Yeah. Just because like the string instrument guy that was doing it wasn't to a T. It wasn't like it was fine, like surface level fine, but it wasn't like, damn, this is exactly what the show was.
Okay. Fair enough.
And but yeah, I explained like the Ozai and Aang score fight. They did that really well. And then they obviously ended it with Aang and Katara's score at the end.
At the end, okay.
Yeah,
I would think it would be the Avatar Aang theme.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Or it's titled Peace, is what it is.
Okay,
that's what the score's title is. It's called Peace. But there's like a regular concert venue and a play. There's an intermission, and I know I'm going back. Like they had an intermission after season 2, and so after the intermission was over, like a person from the audience was like, "You didn't play Secret Tunnel," and so like
in the back, I can tell you all the jokes. Hey.
And then the composer, she just like laughed it off. But at the end of season 3, everyone's bowing, giving their graces, all that, and then like the conductor leaves, everyone's like packing up, and the conductor leaves. She comes back and she's like, "One more."
Yeah.
And then that's when Secret Tunnel gets played. And
yeah, that's funny.
And so, like, the season Tunnel was the encore. And so, it was the most, I'll admit, I was laughing probably halfway through because, so it starts off, obviously, with, like, Secret Tunnel, Secret Tunnel, through the mountains, secret tunnel, Secret Tunnel. It was, like, 20 times.
There's nothing else to do. There's no other verse.
It was 20 times of that. Like, I might be exaggerating, but that's what it was.
Like it's only a song from a guy that says one thing like 3 times, and then we're just like, oh, it's so iconic. And so it's just like, did he sing the whole song?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he did.
I mean, the guy who sings it in the show didn't actually sing it live. They used it from the show.
Right.
With the instrumentals being played for the song.
That's so
and so, but like it was like his voice going all the way, and then like the last line, the last like Secret Tunnel was Secret Tunnel, Secret Tunnel. it was in a very like low.
Like we don't really know how to end it, so we're just gonna keep saying it,
but like
fade it away.
I was laughing halfway through because I was like, why do we keep saying this? Like, it was like 20 times.
She's like to that guy, she's like, oh, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get Secret Tunnel.
Yep.
You're gonna never want to see Secret Tunnel again.
Yeah. The guy that impressed me the most, like musician, I don't know his name or anything, but the guy who played the Songi horn music.
Oh yeah,
really well. Because he sat in front of me, like obviously on the stage, but it's just like this little small instrument. Like it's so cool how it was played. He messed up a few, not to put him out or anything, but like he messed up a few times in some of the music that I had noticed. Not with the Songi horn, but with like other instruments, because like there were some people that had multiple instruments to play for different songs. Same person, different instruments. And then you had the backer, and then you had the singers who did the who just did the
stuff, yeah,
like the sound of their voice. So like you would hear them like doing the theme song. And so anyway, amazing concert. I mean, 9 out of 10 minimum.
Oh yeah, wow.
Minimum. I mean, it was a good thing to get a $9 beer at.
Yeah. So the part that has the horn and it's like doo-doo, it's at the end of the Blue Spirit episode.
Okay.
Where he's walking back to the ship and he's all depressed because he got away.
That was good, yes.
Is that part of the Blue Spirit, or is that its own thing? It is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't know if that was part of the Blue Spirit or a different one. Cool. Well, that sounds like a good time. I'm definitely going to go. I don't know what one I'm going to. There's one in Baltimore. There's one. I actually talked to my friend Mike. We're going to Dallas for a Raven game. There's one that weekend. He said he wouldn't mind going. So I'm going to do that, or I'm just going to go to one of the. There's like 5 in like the Philly area and like 5 in New Jersey by the time it's Christmas. So like I'll pick one of those and just drive like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So and then I'll just let you know what I'm going to, and if you want to go, you're welcome to. If not, I'll go with someone.
Yeah, I mean, check ticket prices because I think we talked about like the DC one being like $200 a ticket or something.
Yeah,
but that was like that's expensive. That was kind of expensive. I paid $85 for being like front row, and that was worth it. I don't want to say I would have paid $150, but I would have paid $150.
Yeah.
But no, I would have done a cheaper ticket. Like I wouldn't have been front row and still gone, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like I'd like to go there. They had a playbill. It was a playbill, free playbill thing. And it was just super cool. People were dressed up and with t-shirts or non-t-shirts and actually like suit and tie and dresses. It was a mix of people, parents with their kids, and there's this one kid. He was actually sitting not next to me, but like 2 seats to the right of me. And I didn't say anything because like why would I? But like he was just like out of control. Like he was just so excited. Like he was like tapping on like aggressively tapping on with his feet and like that. And I was like, that is me. That is me.
That man is excited.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think
cool.
Avatar does such a good job at bringing in scores, probably more than a lot of shows and even movies where like they'll bring in scores and they're all like very good scores and like it enhances because I think the reason to have the purpose of a score is to enhance the scene, right? And so enhance the emotion of the characters, enhance the bring out what the characters are feeling or at least the tone of the scene. And like there's so many Avatar. I mean, we talked about it earlier, the last Agni Kai. Like that's a great score. And I feel like that score brings out like in my opinion, it does a great job of bringing out not the I'm trying to think of the word.
Full circle.
The sadness of Azula's arc. And like how Zuko's mom changed him from being what could have been evil to good. Like, because he's always had that good in him from Iroh and his mom. Azula, it's like the nurture versus nature. Like her nurture was from Ozai, and she became bad. And I love how the end of the movie, the end of the series, the end of the series shows that the thing that Iroh taught Zuko, which is the being able to breathe from your chest and the I'm not trying to think smoke. It's not smoke. The steam from your like nose. You remember how you use that multiple times. Make sure you use
your inner fire.
Yeah, inner fire. But remember when like Zuko was cold in season 1 and again in season 3, he would use his nose.
Your breath of fire.
Breath of fire.
Yeah.
Azula loses due to not being able to know that because she gets frozen.
Yeah.
And so she knew that she would be able to get out. But so we've talked about before how Zuko was taught to redirect, and that's how he was able to get out. But like she was never able to learn from Iroh, and that's how she lost. Because she did not have Iroh, the teacher,
Right.
which eventually was basically her downfall. So, but I think that whole scene is just enhanced due to the music, and you're watching it and you're like, because it's not necessarily, it's a good fight, but it's kind of an emotional fight, but it's more of like just watching her, the fall of this character that we've been watching this whole series being afraid of. And now you're like, man, she's like pathetic, and she's like not pathetic, but like you just feel bad for her.
She's crazy.
She's crazy. She's just like, a lot of people say they don't like the ending because it's like, oh man, like Zuko like almost had like a 2/3 of what Azula really is, like a worser Azula. But I'm like, I think it's more about the character of Azula and being like at the state of what she is. Like the music brings out the state of what she is.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Just to just diving off from the scores real quick.
Yeah.
Quick side question. Do you think if Ursa was around, do you think that Azula would have been better?
No. Because I don't think I think that she didn't have, there's something in her that cared too much about what her father thought and already discounted Iroh and her mom. Like, you know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious. Yeah,
sure. But that's like, it's such an interesting like study, I guess, of like nature versus nurture. And I mean, I've even seen videos on YouTube about that. It's like, what would have happened if the mom never left? What would have happened if Zuko never got banished?
What
ifs? But there are. It's like we think about it all the time with normal people. It's like, dang, like would I have changed differently if my father was in my life or mother was in my life, or if they weren't in my life? And it's like, for good or bad. So it's an interesting thought process to have, and I think that's like something to show. A lot of people don't give the credit but where it's due for the show to do that, because it's just a children's show. But like when you sit back and really look, you're like, wow, like these two characters are so much different due to their parents and like what parent they kind of lean towards. So
right.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's talk about some other scores that we like, changing topics a little bit.
Semi-related.
And like I've already talked about, like I think the point of a score is to enhance a scene or a character, or a tone. So we've seen character scores, like for instance, Azula has her own character score. So does the Blue Spirit. Really, every character kind of does in a sense. The Avengers, they have their own scores. I guess you could say DC does as well. So we both wrote down a list. I mean, I will start. We can start with the horror scores, because there's a lot of and if you talk about vibes and like just vibes / like how a person feels in the moment, like a score is trying to enhance that. I mean, we wrote down Jaws, Halloween, Psycho, Saw franchise. I mean, do you want to talk about any of those scores and how, like, I know Jaws is obviously like one of the most iconic scores of all time, of how it's just like, once you do the donut, like you can be in a pool and someone will be like, I mean, and it's like, I mean, really all of these, like, I mean, all four of those scores I just said, they just like enhance the watching experience post watching the show or movie, to the point where if you do the score, it's like almost like scary to think of the score, in certain aspects, you know what I mean? I mean, any other horror scores you think you can think of, and what?
Silence of the Lambs.
I've never watched Silence of the Lambs.
I understand you got to watch.
Yeah.
It's do it for this Halloween, Matt. I saw it for the first time 3 or 4 years ago, and I've seen it maybe 4 or 5 times since then. Like it's so good. Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins,
yeah.
like You know what it's about, I'm sure, but
yeah, I mean, I know the actors in it.
Like Hannibal Lecter comes from this movie. And anyway, so yeah, Silence of the Lambs. I mean, I didn't know until I was older, actually, because I would actually hear this song or this score from something else, and I didn't know that it was from Psycho. The Psycho score was the
Mm-hmm.
like I had no idea that was
Really?
from Psycho. Like
What's the one that goes really fast? It's like what is that? Is
the
that
what?
Halloween?
Do it again.
It's like I don't even know where it is, to be honest. I
Is it
can't
the
even.
dun 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 dun
That,
dun dun?
yeah,
That's Halloween.
that's all. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of
But
something else.
anyway, like it's just funny how like because I knew that score from Psycho from like a childhood TV show,
Mm-hmm.
doing it for a different scene. Like it
Yeah,
was, and then
yeah,
but I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know it was from Psycho, which is like comes around full circle. It was
Right.
very very cool to like realize that later in life. And then like the Halloween is like I have to give Silence of the Lambs like it's more of suspense than a horror,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's technically classified under horror. But in terms of your like what you deem as classic horror, Halloween's my favorite.
Yeah.
But if you're putting Silence of the Lambs into that horror category, which it technically is, then it's Silence of the Lambs. But that's beside the point.
Mine is Saw.
I
I
like
love
Saw.
the Saw film.
Oh,
I love
oh
the
yeah.
Saw theme.
The first time I watched the first Saw
Mm-hmm.
was again 3 or 4 years ago,
Really?
and yeah, and I remember seeing the first one, and I was like,
Yeah. I don't know why every time the music comes on, it's like it's so iconic. It's like iconic, and because it's most of the time it's going on when the twist is going on.
mm-hmm.
So it's like you get a twist along, so you already have the emotion of the twist. Either the shock or if it's just whatever it is, and then you put the score in the background, and it just gives you like chills almost. And
Mm-hmm.
Saw is one of those franchises where it's like it's a horror franchise, but it's not necessarily scary.
It's
I
in the
don't, I don't,
horror.
I,
It's in there, but
it's
yeah, I
horror
understand.
franchise. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
a horror franchise, but like
yeah.
I don't know if anyone's actually like afraid of Saw. It's more like the gore
Yeah.
and like the twists and the
Yeah.
psychological part of it all.
Yes.
Um,
It's the
because
same thing with Silence
half
of
the
the
time
Lambs.
you're rooting for Jigsaw, so you're like
Yeah.
not really afraid of him, like. So when we talked about it earlier, Jurassic Park, which is another you could say horror franchise that turned kind of more into
I
a
wouldn't say it's
blockbuster.
I wouldn't say it's horror.
The first one,
No.
kind
It's
of.
no, it's action.
You think so?
Yes.
Action with a little horror.
Not even close to horror.
No,
Horror
okay.
for horror for a kid, but not for everybody else.
Yeah. Maybe I was a kid when I watched it. Yeah, Jurassic Park has a great with when they go into the park itself and they
Right.
see all the different dinosaurs. And we were talking about it, I was like, it would be a fun twist if they made that same exact score dark
Right.
when the dinosaurs are actually attacking them, which I don't think they ever did. But I mean, a couple other and then we go into the action franchises. Things like James Bond.
Yeah.
Which are just still iconic to the day. Now, I don't know if James Bond. Do you think James Bond enhances scenes? Because that's usually at the beginning of the movie, right?
So for the score, yeah, it's for the beginning of the movie for what we're talking about. The soundtrack is completely different.
Yes, yes.
That's a completely different topic that we probably will discuss at a later point.
James Bond has some great soundtracks.
Yeah. It is. But this is a score.
Yep. Two different things.
The
I don't think. Go ahead.
I was going to say the score in James Bond in the beginning, that's what makes it iconic, because when you hear that, you know it's James Bond time. Like, you just know that he's about to kick ass and take names and fight off the bad guy.
It's interesting how they've almost not mixed, but it is very interesting the last like decade we've gotten where they will take a song and make it into kind of its own score itself. For instance, Deadpool Wolverine that just came out, they kind of took Madonna's song and made it into like it's kind of a score, kind of in a way,
A little bit.
So it like sometimes like movies have been like remixing certain things to make them into like they're not scores, but it's like songs that they kind of twist and put into like Stranger Things has done it a couple of times.
That's what I was going to say.
That? Yep. It's like, it's like its own score, but it's not a score, but they've almost remixed the original song to make it an iconic thing for that franchise.
Like, because that song from Stranger Things, Running Up That Hill, by Kate Bush, it was such a niche song that like you don't like no one would have heard it except if you heard it like one time on the radio every 6 months or something. Like no one would have heard it, and then they put it on Stranger Things, and it becomes number one again, or not even again. It was never. I don't think it was never number one. It becomes number one.
It becomes more iconic than it ever was.
Yes,
by putting on a big franchise. Yeah, so, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect example in modern time. Yeah, action. You got Jurassic Park. You got I have Terminator 2.
Terminator, yeah.
Judgment Day. I got some Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's obvious.
That's the big one, yeah.
Gladiator.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Please tell me you've seen it.
No, I haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
He says
no.
I
was trying to think for a second what it is / I mean, there's a couple of them.
Right.
That's why I kind of find it hard to think of Lord of the Rings having a score. They just have multiple scores for specific places, really, like where they go.
Like Avatar. I mean, they have.
Yeah, but when you think of Avatar, you think of like the Avatar theme. They think of like one or two scores. Like Star Wars, you think of the main score. Like, I don't think Lord of the Rings, and I might be just not thinking of it, but I don't think they have like a main score. Like I think of Helm's Deep. I think of the I guess the violin score. I can't really do it, but like and I mean like the main score when they're all running and it kind of pans up, you see them all running. You know what I'm talking about? Like in the second one.
Yeah, it's the violin where they're trying to get on it's not Helm's Deep, but it's oh my gosh.
It's when they're going to
Vormir, not
again. It's when they're going.
It's the king. It's like where the king is.
Well, yes.
Yeah. I'm just bad with Lord of the Rings lore.
I'm bad with Lord of the Rings lore because I like it a lot and I watch it. I watch Lord of the Rings every year, but
it's where Faramir's from. It's like where
Faramir's
from. I don't know where. I'll remember it in like 5 minutes. That's how it works.
Okay, but anyway, yeah. So Lord of the Rings has a lot of iconic scores as well. I would say that the thing about Lord of the Rings is, personally, when I think of Lord of the Rings, I don't think of one big individual score. It's a bunch of smaller good scores, like really great scores. We're like Jaws.
Yeah,
you did think of one score,
Yeah. We do know one score from Lord of the Rings because of a certain people that we know.
See, that was the one I was thinking. So like that's one big one that I can think of. The dun-dun-dun, like that one when the orcs are chasing them in the world. Yeah,
the orcs. It's the dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
And the one that is it's the one that they think Aragorn's dead, I believe, and then he comes back. It's like a violin.
You mean Aragorn?
Aragorn. What did I say? Aragon?
Aragon and the Dragon.
Aragorn. That's what I meant. Oh my god, I remember that book. I never read it, but I remember that book and always being confused.
So like, I remember like Nazgul. Like the Nazguls are the people that are riding the knights, and but I can't remember the damn places. There's Helm's Deep. There's oh my god,
it's Mordor. There's Mordor.
More, yeah.
But I don't know. They have like a theme. Gollum might have a theme.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you have you have superhero movies, which we kind of mentioned earlier, the Avengers, Captain America's theme. Really every superhero in the MCU has a theme. I watched a really cool clip of the final Avengers fight, and as the characters were all coming out of the portals, it was like all mixed together. It was their theme. So it started as the Avengers theme, and then like you would see Black Panther come out, and it became the Wakanda theme. And then you would see Bucky come out. It was the Winter Soldier theme. And they would kind of blend into each other. And you saw Doctor Strange with his theme, and then the Guardians theme, and then Spider-Man's theme, and then Iron Man's theme when he gets up, and it would kind of all blend together. And then at the end, it would be the Avengers theme. It was a really cool. I can
Oh yeah, like it was
a really cool way of doing it.
It's the dun 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 dun.
Oh yeah, dun 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 dun. You gotta look that up.
No, I was looking up Isengard. That's the place.
We're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Is that it?
Yeah,
they're taking the. Are you sure it's Isengard? Because isn't Isengard where the Grey? Oh my god,
it's not Rivendell.
No. I thought Isengard was the tower. Mordor's one tower, then Isengard's the other tower. Am I wrong about that? Because I thought that's where they're taking them.
I think
the orcs were taking them, and they're like,
Isengard is one of the. I'm.
Yeah, because they're chasing. The whole scene is that they're chasing the orcs, and they're wondering, and they're chasing them, and then they realize they're taking them to Isengard to go take them to the Grey Wizard.
I don't know.
And then he goes, "They're taking the hobbits to Isengard."
I don't think that's right, but I could be wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I watch Lord of the Rings once a year, but I'm not super into. Yeah. I love the Lord of the Rings. It's one of my favorite franchises, but it's usually like I watch it and then I'm done and I wait until the next year. I'm not like super into the lore, and there's no other. I mean, like I don't really watch all the other shows and stuff. So
right.
Well, any other underrated ones? I mean, you mentioned Interstellar.
We hit the. We do honorable mention of Interstellar or something, but like we have a game to play. We have a game to play right now.
Okay, so let's do a game.
Yep.
We're gonna be doing a blind, the blind reveal game, I guess you could call it. The blind score game. I don't know, but do you want to start and do me?
Sure, we'll do that.
Okay, so John's gonna name 5 scores, whatever scores he wants, and I have to put them in order as I hear them, 1 through 5, not knowing what the next ones are.
Like overall from the movie, it's not gonna be like one singular score. Like it's gonna be like the entire score from a movie.
Yes. So name a movie. I will say where I think that the scores of the movie is, and I'm gonna do the same thing to John. John's gonna be doing franchises. I'm gonna be doing Avatar: The Last Airbender scores.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Movie one. Braveheart.
5, because I've never seen Braveheart.
Oh.
I don't even know the score of Braveheart. I'm sorry.
That homework. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to take a minute. Okay. The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Sorry, that one more. One time.
The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. If you don't know the song, it's very iconic, and I can tell you the song of the film.
Do it.
It's a wah, 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 wah.
Okay.
Yeah. Clint Eastwood Western. So it's a Clint Eastwood Western movie.
3.
Okay. Batman Dark Knight.
And I'll say real quick why I think it's a 3. because it is a classic score.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people think about other things in the movie. I think people think of more of the classic shootout, you know what I mean, more than like the actual movie itself, which doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying that hurts it, but in a sense, it kind of does hurt it.
Okay.
Dark Knight.
Yeah, Batman Dark Knight.
I'll put it at 2.
Gladiator.
I don't think it's the best score. 4. I have to put it at 4. I only have 4 and 1 left. I don't think it's better than either.
Indiana Jones.
I'll take it.
Okay.
So wait. I had John. It was Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Batman Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Gladiator. And then Braveheart.
Yeah, a little bit of a theme there. Okay, so I'll do now. Do you want me to do Avatar scores?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Or movie. I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
I'll do movies. Okay.
All right.
Actually, how about this? I'll stick to superhero movies only.
Ooh, okay. Fair.
Even though you did the Dark Knight already, so
yeah.
Give me a quick second. What ones I want to do? I'll see. Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
1 second. Okay. This one's an interesting one to start with.
I like it.
And it kind of goes back to what I was saying before about running up the hill and all that stuff. The Batman score. The Batman. A little bit of the Nirvana action going on.
We're talking about the Robert Pattinson, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'll go 4.
Okay. Sorry, I should be typing these in as I go so I can remember them. Is there a reason why 4?
I'm just curious to see what the other ones are. I don't think it's the worst one, but I think 4 early on is fair.
Okay. I love that the score and how they use their music
good.
in that movie. Loved it. Man of Steel.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. No, fair enough.
I mean, so it'd be 5.
No, well,
you did with the.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Man of Steel. Captain America.
The first Avenger.
I think it's. Can we just do the franchise altogether? Because if we're gonna like do that, we'll do 2 because I like the idea of the Winter Soldier theme being in there too. So Captain America, Winter Soldier, we'll go with that.
Three.
Black Panther.
1.
Ooh, Avengers was my last one.
2. Okay.
Yeah, that's not a bad list. Black Panther has a lot of really good. They do a good job with the song stuff too.
Whenever he's in the dreams, it's so good.
Yeah. And even like the African, the tribal African like themes they have and stuff, and
right.
Yeah, they do a really good job. There's there. Okay, that's a great list. Black Panther, Avengers, Winter Soldier, the Batman, and Man of Steel. Yeah, it's. I mean, to be honest, that might just be the order. I mean, I would maybe put the Avengers and the Black Panther flip, but I think I really like that order.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I didn't know. I thought you were going to do Avengers. I mean,
I wasn't. Like I was thinking about other ones, but I was like, I just wanted to throw them in there. So, no, I mean, overall, that was good pod. Good pod. Well, I'm definitely interested in going myself to see I wouldn't say musical. What would you call that?
It's not musical.
It's not a musical.
Concert, man.
A concert. A score concert. Yeah. I'm interested in checking that out as well. And yeah.
Yeah, you let me know when which parts of the country you're going to be at for that. Which one you choose?
Parts of the country.
Well, I mean, New Jersey, Philly. Like you don't know which one you're going to be, except besides DC. It doesn't seem like you're going to be in DC. But yeah, Baltimore, Philly, New Jersey. Just let me know, and we'll work something out if it's the right move or whatever.
Okay, cool. All right, John. Well,
all right, Cabbage Crew. Thanks for tuning
Cabbage Crew.
I highly advise going to see a concert if it's near you. Please go see and subscribe to the Cabbage Crew.
Yeah. Comment below also what's your favorite score of Avatar: The Last Airbender, or just your favorite score in general. Seems like well, John, what is your favorite score of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I'll be honest, it's the is it I don't know if it's part of the opening theme or not, but it's
like the Avatar Aang.
Like it was the one that I suggested. Well, I won't say that. It's the one where it's like dun 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 dun. Yeah.
Mine's probably the like. Can't do it. It's like Avatar Aang, and it gets kind of soft and a little bit, and then it comes out back up. I think it's called Avatar Aang.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite. But all right, guys, Cabbage Crew, subscribe.
Cabbage Crew.
Peace.